And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law.
In just 4 minutes and 17 seconds, 4,725 wire transfers exposed everything. Pam Bondi never imagined forensic accounting could catch up with her. Patel never thought systematic documentation would bring him down. The cameras captured the simultaneous destruction of 2 careers. All of America watched corruption get annihilated live. What had Jasmine Crockett just revealed about $47.2 million in Epstein payments that made 2 of Trump's most powerful nominees collapse in front of 156 million viewers? January 14, 2025, 2:33 p.m. sharp. Room 226, Hart Senate Office Building. The cold afternoon light slices through the tall windows, carving sharp shadows across the century-old wood paneling. The air is thick, saturated with the smell of stale coffee and electric tension. The room is a volcano about to erupt. At the witness table sit 2 figures. Pam Bondi, Attorney General nominee, in a flawless navy suit, the look of a former prosecutor who's won too many battles to ever flinch, or so she believes. Beside her, Patel, future FBI director, badge gleaming under the lights, posture of a man who's already survived worse hearings than this. Behind them, an army of DOJ lawyers clutching briefcases stuffed with procedural blocks, classified memos, and legal deflections ready to stop any attack. But no one, absolutely no one, is ready for what's coming next. The Democrats spent the morning firing round after round. Durbin opened with questions about DOJ independence. Booker shouted. White House tore into Patel over the agent purge. All of it was just the warm-up, because everyone in that room knows the real bomb is coming now. Her name is Jasmine Crockett, 43 years old, former federal prosecutor. For 6 months she's been digging. 6 months with a team of 3 financial analysts and 2 ex-FBI Financial Crimes Unit agents, pulling, dissecting, and connecting 4,725 wire transfers. Money that starts in Epstein-controlled accounts, hops through Cayman shell companies, lands in 2 U.S. shell corporations, and ends up in the personal accounts of the 2 people sitting right in front of her. She walks in without a smile. Pearl gray suit, thin-rimmed glasses, black leather briefcase. She sets down her files, 12 thick folders, like an executioner laying out his tools. She doesn't even glance at Bondi or Patel. She just waits her turn. 2:33 p.m. Durbin gavels. The gentlewoman from Texas is recognized for 20 minutes. Crockett speaks in a calm, almost bored voice, as if she's reading the devil's grocery list. I have here Bank of America records showing 4,725 separate payments, totaling $47.2 million from Jeffrey Epstein-controlled accounts to a shell company called Sunshine Legal Services, LLC. The room freezes. Dead silence. You could hear a pin drop on marble. Bondi goes white in a single second. Her hands clench around her water glass. Patel stares at his notes like the words might magically rewrite themselves. Crockett continues, no emotion. According to Delaware Incorporation records, Sunshine Legal Services, LLC, was formed by your personal attorney, David Castellanos, using your law firm's address as the registered agent, Ms. Bondi. Bondi falls back on the classic reflex. I have never heard of that company, and I certainly never received money from Jeffrey Epstein or any related entity. Crockett almost smiles. She was waiting for that. These transfers were monthly. For over 3 years. Each one exactly $1,557,000, just below the federal reporting threshold that would have triggered an automatic FinCEN alert. That's called structuring, Ms. Bondi. A federal offense in itself. The room starts to rumble. Journalists hammer their phones. Camera flashes pop like gunfire. Then, at 2:35 p.m., Crockett turns her head toward Patel. Act 2 begins. Director Patel, I will now question you about your role in these financial arrangements and the FBI's investigation into Epstein-related corruption. Patel trots out the canned response. The FBI conducts investigations according to established legal protocols. I cannot comment on specifics in open session. Crockett cuts him off cold. The FBI Financial Disclosure Form 302 you filed on March 15, 2024, lists $890,000 in consulting income received from Strategic Security Consulting, LLC. Patel visibly crumbles. $890,000. For an FBI director. The conflict of interest stench is overwhelming. According to banking records obtained by congressional subpoena, Strategic Security Consulting, LLC was funded by the exact same Epstein-controlled accounts that paid Sunshine Legal Services. You and Ms. Bondi were both taking money from the same criminal network. 2:37 p.m., exactly 4 minutes into the questioning. Both nominees realize at the same instant that it's over. Bondi buries her face in her hands. Patel frantically digs through his briefcase like a drowning man. Crockett fires the kill shot. Encrypted emails, obtained by judicial warrant, between Epstein's money managers and the two shell companies. These messages discuss payment schedules, deliverables, coordination of activities, and the use of your future positions to protect Epstein network assets and block federal investigations. At exactly 2:37 p.m. and 17 seconds, the entire country watches two careers explode live on air. In just 4 minutes and 17 seconds, 4,725 wire transfers exposed everything. The cameras captured the exact moment Pam Bondi and Kash Patel realized they were finished. Social media detonated. CNN cut into programming. Twitter's trending server crashed under the weight of the hashtags. How did two of Trump's most powerful nominees collapse so fast in front of a single congresswoman armed only with bank records? 2:37:17 p.m. The killing sentence lands. And the use of your future positions to protect Epstein network assets. Knockout. Bondi freezes, hands covering her face. Patel stares blankly at the table. Republican senators are statues. Even the Democrats don't dare celebrate. It's too massive. Camera flashes explode like machine gun fire. Reporters live tweet at light speed. In under 60 seconds, hashtag 47 million scandal hits worldwide, hashtag 1, hashtag Bondi Patel corruption surges past 2 million tweets, hashtag Epstein payoffs literally crashes Twitter's trending engine for 11 straight minutes, 2:39 p.m. CNN slams a red banner across the screen. Breaking, $47 million scandal. Two Trump nominees tied to Epstein. Fox News tries to downplay it for exactly 4 minutes. Then the leaked documents hit X, and they're forced to run the footage on loop. Inside the hearing room, pure chaos. An Associated Press reporter screams over the noise. Congresswoman Crockett, will you call for a criminal investigation? She answers ice-cold calm. This matter has already been referred to the Department of Justice for immediate federal criminal investigation. The word criminal hits like a second nuke. 2:45 p.m. Bondi's and Patel's lawyers beg for a recess. Denied. The senators want to watch the bodies hit the floor. Crockett keeps reading from the encrypted emails, each line another nail. December payment greenlit once DOJ nomination is confirmed. Strategic Security receives $500,000 bonus if the Ghislaine Maxwell file stays sealed. Every sentence is a hammer blow straight into the coffin. 3:12 p.m. The gavel finally falls. The session is adjourned in total pandemonium. Bondi staggers out, held up by her attorneys. Patel refuses questions and vanishes into a black SUV with tinted windows. 4:07 p.m. First official withdrawal. Pam Bondi releases a statement saying she is withdrawing her nomination for personal reasons. 4:19 p.m. Kash Patel follows. In just 72 minutes, two of the most powerful jobs in the United States government are gone. That same evening, grand juries are hastily convened in New York and Virginia. The remaining uncorrupted federal prosecutors dive into the files like wolves. Epstein's victims, watching the hearing through tears, finally understand why justice was blocked for years. 8:14 p.m. Jasmine Crockett posts a single sentence on X. The victims deserve the truth. Today they got it. The work continues. The post hits 28 million views in 12 hours. In just 4 minutes and 17 seconds, 4,725 wire transfers exposed everything. 6 months later, 2 former nominees are awaiting trial for money laundering, conspiracy, and bribery. America has never watched a confirmation hearing the same way again. How did one lone Congresswoman succeed where decades of investigations had failed? November 2025. Federal Courthouse, Miami. Pam Bondi and Patel arrive separately, ankle shackles clinking, flanked by U.S. Marshals. The indictment is 42 pages long. Money laundering, structuring, RICO conspiracy, witness tampering, obstruction of justice. Maximum sentence, 47 years. The evidence? Exactly what Crockett laid out on January 14th. The 4,725 wire transfers. The encrypted emails. The Form 302 disclosures. Not a single fact has been challenged on the merits. Only procedural delays were attempted, and they all failed. And law school textbooks, they now teach the Crockett effect, when a months-long, systematic financial investigation can end a political career in under 5 minutes on live television. Jasmine Crockett turned down every magazine cover, every late-night show, every book deal. Instead, she did one thing. She stood up a permanent task force in Congress, the Financial Crimes Oversight Unit. Budget: $42 million a year. Mission: follow every suspicious dollar attached to every federal nominee, every judge, every cabinet pick. Epstein's victims, for the first time in their lives, received an official apology from the United States government. An $850 million compensation fund was created, partly financed by the seizure of every dime that ever flowed through those shell companies, and across the country, every young prosecutor, every law student, every investigative reporter now repeats the same mantra: follow the money. Always. To the very end. Because sometimes the most powerful weapon against corruption isn't a fiery speech, an anonymous leak, or a sex scandal. It's a congresswoman in glasses, carrying a briefcase full of bank records, with the guts to read the truth out loud for 4 minutes and 17 seconds. 4 minutes and 17 seconds that changed America forever. So tell me, what would you do if you discovered your leaders were taking millions from a criminal network? Like,
share, subscribe.
The next case might involve your tax dollars. Hit the bell. You never know who's next.